modeling and colorism, definitely a thing.
And why do people think that plus-size women cannot find love?
You see, the problem with the body positive movement is the fact that change is a bad thing.
I need to know what Drake really meant by BBW.
Welcome to Curves Rock Happy Hour. It's me, the Chanel Nicole.
Hi, and it's Miss Diva Doll.
Hi, I'm Monet, etc.
And our favorite bartender.
The turn-up queen, Ayana.
Welcome again. We are real curvy women having real conversation. So grab your cocktail and join in on the discussion. So this weekend, right? We went to Veronica's
True Diva.
True Diva Design. She had a grand opening on her boutique. It was fabulous.
Okay, sounds great.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
In Philadelphia.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
She has a great boutique. It's very chic. Love her designs. One of our favorite designers.
It was very chic.
so what type of clothes, are we talking? What type of clothes does she have? What was there? Like, is it ready to wear?
Right? I like to consider her style have this like celebrity feel.
She's very high fashion. I love that her pants are long. You know, we're all tall.
Yes.
You don't have that problem, but you know, we're tall, and for whatever reason, a lot of designers do not make long pants. And I'm like, most models are over 6 feet, or at least 6
That's
feet.
true.
So you would think that the designers design clothes for taller women, but I love her pants, her dusters, everything is long for tall women. So shout out to Veronica for that.
Yeah, and speaking of celebrity curves and things like, what's your favorite, like, what's your celebrity crush, like, style-wise?
I would say Jasmine Sullivan. I like her style. I really like her. Most times when I see her, she's trendy, she's sexy, she's funky. So I just like her designs. I don't know. She's one of the people that most of the time when I see her, I'm like, yes, I like that. That looks good on you. You working it.
So what kind of stuff does she wear?
Well, she wears different stuff. She does wear bodycons.
Okay.
She has, I've seen her even with casual denim and boots and a shirt, and she just rocks it all.
Okay.
Like, you know, effortlessly, I think.
Yeah.
Effortless.
Effortlessly.
I guess for me, like, I'm not like a huge fan of anybody, surprisingly. Like, I'm just kind of like, I like to do my own thing or whatever. What's that
I'm
face
just
for?
saying, like, okay.
Oh,
I
who
mean,
do you
you've
like?
never
Who do you
had.
like? Who do you
Okay, so I would say Dasha. I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. I love her style.
Okay, well, I do like her. I
It's
agree with you there.
consistent. Like, every time I see her, every time she hits the red carpet, every time someone takes a photo of her, you know, it's not just the clothing. The clothing is very chic.
Right.
She wears bright colors, but from head to toe, it's on point and it fits.
Mm-hmm.
Everything fits. And I really, that's my girl. I like her.
Yeah.
She's not afraid to reveal her curves. I think that's the one of the reasons I like Dasha.
That's true
Yes,
as well.
yes, that's true. I've definitely seen her in like a sheer outfit that looked awesome. Who else do you like?
I like Mindy Kaling because I think I identify with her personality. It's very awkward, but
Who is
hers.
Mindy?
So Mindy plays on The Office. She played on The Office, and she has her own show
Yes.
on Hulu called The Mindy Project. Great show.
Oh.
So she's
think-
very. Who?
No, I was just trying to figure out who she was.
Mindy is a very well-known actress. But her personality is awkward, and then her style is very, like, it's not glamorous, but it's very, like, chic and simple, which I like. Like, she can do a nice black dress and then have this very dramatic tail that you wouldn't even try to consider putting on her. But I think she rocks very simple things for me. And then on the other hand, when I'm feeling a little bit more spicy and glamorous, I like Danielle Brooks. First of all, I'm dark skinned. She's dark skinned. Then she does a lot of ready to wear. It's not something I have to just basically do up. It's
Right.
all ready to go. It's chic. She's not afraid to reveal her curves either. So
Right, so your style is like you you pick your people off of how they match your personal styling. Yeah.
I mean, I can't identify with anybody who doesn't identify with me. So, like, I love Dasha, but I'm not comfortable enough with me yet to reveal my curves as such as she does.
Okay.
Yeah, Dasha always typically looks nice. I think so. Now that you mentioned, I think the other person I would say would be maybe a Jill Scott. Like usually
Oh, yeah,
she
Jill Scott,
typically
yeah.
looks really good from
Yeah,
head
she
to
looks
toe.
nice.
Her hair usually is on point. Her clothes are on point.
Jilly from Philly.
She's always like, she just looks good, and like she definitely embraces her curves. Like you will see it and be like, bam, here we go. I'm out there, right there for you. So I think that's somebody. Her and also Dasha, like they do a good job.
Yeah, I think the most important part about styling is the number one, the confidence in how you wear it.
Yes.
Right.
Because
That's
if you
important.
wear it and you don't feel it, it's
Right,
not
you
gonna
can
look.
tell.
You can
You can
definitely
tell.
tell. It's not gonna look the way. You're not gonna project what you're trying to project.
What about Leslie Jones? I think she's very controversial. I like
No.
Leslie. No, let me say, I don't like Leslie's hair. But I like that she never gave up on herself as far as styling.
But we're not
wise.
talking about personality.
Okay, fine.
We're
But it's
talking
about
style. Like,
But she
I
was-
just-
but
you
she was
look-
one of those
girl,
people-
Your personality looks so good.
No. But she was one of those people that like got bashed by designers because of how tall she was and who she was and how she
Right.
looked.
So I understand that, and we'll talk about charity another time. But right now, we're discussing style, and honestly,
She doesn't.
she doesn't fit that bill. I mean, and most importantly, like I always stop at her hair. Like whoever does her hair, I understand, I get she's a comedian and they want to give that shock factor, but they have to do something different. And so she could have on the best outfit ever, but if her hair is gonna look
Yeah,
like
it
that
needs to be a
every
total
time,
package.
I'm gonna stop right there.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on here. I don't know. Right here. I'm just saying.
No, I agree. I'm not a big fan. Not style wise. Like I'm not sure. Like as a person, she might be great or whatever. I don't personally know her or anything.
Yeah.
But just in general, like style, she's not somebody I would be like is a style crush. Remember, we're talking about crushes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she is not a crush on
I don't
mine.
look at Leslie like, oh, that's nice. I'd be like, Leslie, why? Why, Leslie?
So let's take it on the other spectrum.
Good, by the way.
Ooh, thank you.
Taste
Yes,
it.
it is.
So let's take it on the other spectrum. Let's do like somebody like Adele. I like Adele because, like I said, I'm not a person to reveal my curves, and everything is covered up, but it's very nicely laid out on her for her to be a curvy woman.
Okay. All right.
Alright, so what I would say is that I kind of agree with her. Like Adele usually looks pretty sleek with her curves or whatever, but she doesn't have this like in your face like style, so to speak, or whatever. But she usually looks really good with what she wears and how she does style herself. So I definitely understand that. But she's not necessarily like one of my crushes, so to speak, because
Yeah.
I like somebody who I see so many different ways, like in versatile ways.
Yes.
So that's why I would pick somebody like a Jill Scott or a Dasha, because you'll see Dasha in something like jeans and a shirt and you're like, wow, like the way she put that together, how she wear her hair, her shoes, like that's great. To me, that's styling. And that's like the fashion, and that's somebody you can have a crush on because you like everything from head to toe. You're like,
Yeah.
I need that outfit right there. Like,
I think one of the people who have come a long way, like outside of crushes, one of the people who have come a long way is Gabby. I know when she was first hitting the red
Right.
carpet, people, the internet was just like, oh,
Where's your stylist?
Where is her
Right.
stylist? And now she's come such a long way,
Right.
just in her career, but also, when she hits the red carpet, is definitely, you could tell that they're thinking more about, whoever her stylist is, thinking more about how she looks.
Right.
A lot of times when you are plus size, and mostly on the bigger side, people want to go bigger.
Right.
They want to give you fluff. They want to give you drape. And the bigger your clothes are, honestly, the more it unflattering sometimes it makes you look. Everything doesn't have to be huge, big, flowy, house dressy, chiffon-y,
Yeah.
so,
Don't knock those chiffon. I love me some chiffon.
and velvet too.
Oh yes, girl. Love me a good velvet. Love me a good velvet.
Oh my God.
Velvet and velour.
What is that?
Oh my God.
Curves, right? So a couple of months ago, I believe it was Sandra Rose. She does a blog. She wrote an article on Rihanna being plus size, right? And so the media was in an uproar, like the internet's like, oh my God, she's not plus size. How could you say this? You know, and I went and read the article, and she was stating that based on her height and her size, you know, they would consider her plus, you know, consider her plus size. And I was looking at if those stats are indeed correct, and
Right.
she's like a 6'8" in the fashion industry, she would be considered
Right.
a plus
She's
size
a
woman
model.
at that time. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
if
true.
she was a model. So my question is, like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, I see what you're saying, and then most people like, no, not really. She looks like the average, regular, whatever that means, woman, and to me it's just like, why does it even matter?
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that people they try to make being plus size negative. Like a 6 or 8. I mean, so what? So what? What if she was a 20 or 10?
Right.
It doesn't matter. The
Right.
fact that she's a great performer is what's most important.
Right.
And so I wish as a society we would just kind of get out of that, you know, trying to figure out what size people
Yeah,
are.
I think it's just a stigma, honestly. Like, I'm not sure what that stigma is, but there's some type of stigma where everybody's automatically like, I don't want to be associated with plus size. Like, I don't care if I'm a 6, you better not call me plus size.
Right.
Even if I'm a 18, I still don't want to be plus size. Like, it's just this big stigma behind it. Like, it's a negative thing, but I don't really understand why. Like, why is being plus size or being referred to as plus size or your size being called plus size, which I think stems from, like, designers not really, like, designing for your size. Like, why?
Yeah, I mean, it's a thing that society created. When in actuality it became a thing is not necessarily sure, but people get so caught up into titles.
Right.
Plus size, curvy, thick, slim thick, fat, overweight, obese. You know, throw these titles
Chubby,
around,
chunky.
chubby, chunky,
Yeah, right.
you know, and then what I've said on multiple occasions, also on the internet, having these back and forths, is that plus size, the term, came so that you could find your section in the store.
Right.
All right? It's not so to, you know, make you feel bad about yourself. It's not to say that this is who you are.
Right.
Like, you are, you know, what all of those things that embody you. And hopefully you choose to be called by your name, if
Right.
that's what, you know what I'm saying? But plus size is just another part of you. Really, that's a section in the store that you go to so that when you walk in, you won't feel like when you go in some stores, like, okay, where should I go?
Right.
Where's my clothes?
Right. Because the worst thing to do is to go in a store and you're looking through the stuff and you're like, okay, 1, 2, like, okay, 3, like 6, like, I mean, what is this? Like nobody wants to go in a store and not be able to find their size. Like, even if you are in a store that's geared towards plus size, you're still like, I mean, where's my size? Do y'all not carry it? Is that gone? Like, I mean, it can be frustrating when you're shopping. So I definitely understand that.
Right. And because people have added that negative thing.
Right.
Like, I will always say, you don't know, like, not gonna cuss, but you take any cuss word, it's the people who made it a curse word, right? You know, if I take apple and I decide to make it negative,
Right.
when I'm using it towards you, then every time I say apple, you're gonna be like, don't curse at me, what are you talking about?
Don't call me that.
Right, and so it's the people behind the word that's making it what it is. And so I don't feel like it needs to be something negative. You know, people talking about, well, let's call it fabulous size, then
Oh, goodness.
let's call it, no,
yeah.
no,
Right.
no.
Who's that, Kmart?
Yes,
Yes.
Kmart. Really, Kmart?
Fabulous size? What? I don't know the last time I've been in a Kmart, but surely I'm not going to the fabulous size section.
Right, that's the
That
thing.
lets me
Maybe
know
people-
that nothing in that section is fabulous. The fact that the fact that you have to say this size right here is fabulous. Go over here, like
Right.
no, that's the section I'm avoiding.
I mean, not to talk about Kmart,
came
but
up
like
with
nobody's
that?
really shopping at Kmart. with
Horrible
clothes.
marketing
Yeah.
teams,
Yeah.
I
No.
swear.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's just like more recently the video of Beyonce.
Okay.
Right, and she's skating in a skating rink.
She looks
Everybody's
good.
like,
She looks
"Yes, you know, look at Bae," you know. And it was like she definitely had a different reaction than what some other people would have.
Oh,
but
yeah.
what's funny is people know not to come for Beyonce.
Right.
Like, I don't
Right.
care if Beyonce is a size 20.
Right.
They're going to be like, slay
have her back.
Beyonce, slay
Right.
that 20 like you do.
Right.
You know, they're not going to say.
Oh yeah, 20 will be the new 2, like, or 10 or whatever. Like
Everybody-
everybody
they
thinks
will go-
okay.
Right.
Everybody be like, oh, I need to gain some weight because I gotta slay like Beyonce. I gotta get my size now, immediately. Like, what do I need to eat? Okay.
God.
Oh my
What
God.
do I need to do? Hold up, let me start buying some.
They have a
bodysuits,
whole
whatever
new
I need.
surgery
Yeah.
situation. Like,
Right.
go and get stomach added. Yes. If Beyonce.
So you can look
did
like
it.
Beyonce.
Yes, I want to slay like Beyonce. Give me the Beyonce body for however much, 10,000. 10,000. They'll have shops where you sit down and eat until you're a size 20, just so you can look like Beyonce. So yeah, but you know, she did look good.
Yeah, she looked
Besides, she
good.
just had twins or whatever. I know people are saying now that she's smaller and that she had surgery or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. But either way, like, I thought she did the whole vegan thing. Is that what? Doesn't she eat vegan? You guys not sure?
No.
I'm not there when she.
I don't think anybody from Houston. No, I don't think anybody from Houston, Texas, is vegan.
No, her and Beyonce were. I mean,
Who is her? And who?
Jay-Z is Beyonce.
They are one. They are one.
They are what?
I don't think she's vegan.
At one time, they had to be because they were definitely smaller, on the very small, and him too. You remember when he? Like,
I do.
lost all that weight?
I mean, I do.
Vegan. They
I don't
were
think.
doing vegan for a period of time. Like, I don't know if she went back to it or whatever. I do remember reading articles about her doing a vegan lifestyle, and her being from Houston has nothing to do with it. I understand what you're saying.
Nobody in Houston eats vegetables.
I mean, I like that. But I'm saying I don't think she went vegan. I swear, and I don't know. I could be.
did.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think
What do
so.
you think happened? What do you think
I
happened?
think she just worked out like a regular, schmegular
Oh, you
person.
think she did? You think she worked out?
Why wouldn't she?
She was working out before though, with all her shows and stuff.
Listen,
But she
different-
wasn't that small, yeah.
Different trainer, different times, different meats. At all places.
Different surgery. Sorry.
Well,
Let the be out.
I didn't say that, y'all. I didn't say
I
that.
don't know.
Right, I'm
what
not associated with
she
that
had,
one.
Okay.
No, she looks good though. I saw those Halloween pictures when she was dressing up like Little Kim. She looked good.
Oh yeah, she looked really good. I like
Yeah,
it.
so don't come for me. She looks good.
Right.
She does.
2, 20, 4, 6.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever size.
We don't care.
She's been looking good for years.
Forever. Since, can you keep up?
Wow.
Oh
You ain't even give it a Latoya factor. Look at that. You gave it a Michelle.
What?
Why you ain't say Latoya when she was in Destiny's Child?
What we're not gonna do is talk about Beyonce.
When she was Destiny.
So, the reporter, the traffic girl, that's another thing that's been going on the internet here recently.
Is she traffic or weather?
Oh.
I don't know.
Oh, I think it's weather.
She's weather or traffic. I'm not sure. Like, but either or, you know, they.
She is beautiful.
She's-
beautiful,
yeah,
absolutely
she is.
beautiful.
She's gorgeous.
Nice and curvy. Do you really believe that, or you just said?
No, she is. She's
this is my
very
thing.
pretty.
All weather women or traffic women, a lot of them wear like kind of like bodycon or fitted type outfits, and I feel
Not
like,
body cons though.
well, no, not
Well,
bodycons. What is that? Well, it's not really
it's,
bodycon.
it's still
Like-
fitting.
Yeah, it's like a fitted. Most of the time they wear fitted type dresses or whatever.
Yeah.
And with that being said, yes, A-line. So with that being said, a lot of times it shows off your curves. And because she's more curvy than a lot of women you would normally see, I think that's why it's been a big issue. But if you really think about it in general, I mean, she's not doing anything that the other women aren't doing that are on the screen. So I don't see why it's a big thing like, oh, she doesn't look good. Oh, you know, she shouldn't dress like that. Oh, no. If you have curves, you better wear a cape.
Well, I have curves. Okay? I have plenty of them.
Yes.
And so I think the news reporter looks fabulous. She's great. She's very pretty. I saw her dress, and the dress was nice. I guess my
Yeah, because you see every head says look.
Yeah, you know. Again, I'm the curvy conservatives, but I just believe that a lot of weather reporters, they do wear those dresses.
Right.
However, when you have curves, then it makes a skinny person with that same dress. It makes a curvy person look more seductive, more sexy. And so then it begins to look a little inappropriate.
Wow.
So wait a minute.
When you're in a professional environment.
Tell you why, because what you're trying to do is say that if you look a certain way, you deserve to be treated a certain way, or if you, because you are different, you look different, then people have the right to say a certain thing about you. Because in essence, if she's wearing, if a smaller girl can wear that
Right.
dress, then a curvy girl can wear that dress.
Yeah, she
and you're
can.
saying, and the lady said the horrible things about her, and then whoever
No,
else
that's
was
not
saying,
right. I don't think they should talk about her like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
you're
you
saying it's
agree with it.
inappropriate. You're agreeing.
No, I'm not saying that
You are.
she
You-
looks horrible. I'm
No,
not
you're
saying,
saying, like,
that
it's
she needs to
inappropriate
take it
for
off.
work.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying that
Why is it any more inappropriate for her to wear that to work than the girl who's a size
because just
4?
with her curves, then it makes it more seductive
So,
looking.
okay.
It makes it tighter on her, whereas it'll be just a straight, just a straight, body. It looks
No.
different. It looks different. Can we agree that it looks different versus straight
should look
versus
different.
curvy?
Everybody looks
So
different. That's the
okay,
type of
so
way.
people identify with curves as being sexy, right?
Not all people. Some people think it's disgusting and
No,
vile
most-
and ugly.
well, it depends, but most people look at curves as being sexy, as being seductive. If you think about, I can't think of the lady, the black lady who back in the early 1900s or something, who was the first. I forgot.
Sarah Bachman.
Yeah, Sarah Bachman. So, if you think about her, she's curvy. And it just, people start to identify with curvy, with being sexy. And so if you have someone
So you're
that
saying that
has,
smaller people aren't sexy?
no, I'm not
They
saying
didn't
that.
identify her
No,
like
you
that.
said-
They identified her as abnormal. They didn't identify her as sexy though. That was off the rail. They didn't identify with her being sexy.
Because of her curves, they consider it abnormal. That's true.
Right.
But either way, to me, what you wear, you should be able to wear whatever you want to wear, no matter what your size. And that's
I
kind of like a
agree.
big thing. So to say,
I agree.
to
But
say
where?
because
You
now
have
I'm
to-
a size, no, to say
No.
I'm a size 18, it's okay for the size 8 to come in there with, this A-line dress on. But because I'm an 18, I can't wear the A-line dress because
No,
somebody
right.
might look at
No.
me and find me to be too sexy for work. Well, if I'm too sexy for work,
That
so
8
she.
is too sexy, and that's the same thing. Like if there's an employee
Unfortunately,
policy,
society doesn't look at
and
it
that's
that way.
and that's
That's
why
the
we're
problem.
here to change it.
That's the problem.
Because that's like an employee handbook. If the employee handbook says no A-line dresses, no skirts above the knee, then that is the same policy for everyone, whether you're a size 2 or whether you're a size 10 or whether you're a size 20. But if it doesn't say that, then it shouldn't be. And I feel some type of way about this because when I was young, I experienced the same thing.
Right.
Going to school and seeing people wear smaller girls because it wasn't because of my weight. It was more so because I was tall. But seeing shorter,
Oh, yeah.
smaller girls wear skirts that was underneath their behind. But let me wear something that's mid-thigh, like barely touching my knee, and it's like, put your arm down, let me see. Let's do this test.
Right.
Making me feel like, well, I'm looking as the girls walking by with the
Right.
little thing, like, well, why aren't we all going home?
Right.
So you're telling me, if we're talking about sexualization, you're sexualizing me, and I didn't sexualize myself.
Right.
It's about how you're looking at me. I feel like I'm coming to work just like the next person is coming to
Right.
work. Every other weather girl, you Google weather girl, you Google traffic girl, and all these pictures that come up with these women with the same dress on. But and this woman is not even that
Yeah,
big.
she's not.
So she's not even that heavy. I don't even know what size she is.
Right. She
but
just curvy. And
she
she
just
looks great.
She
She does look great.
You
She
just
does.
can't start
I agree
censoring.
that she looks great. I'm just not.
You just feel
You
like
just think that
there
people-
should be structure. Like if you have curves, there's certain things you can't wear.
So
certain
what
places.
should she have worn?
Yeah.
I think
What's a
that.
suggested outfit? Yeah.
I guess a suggested outfit would be, I don't know, maybe a half size bigger, or maybe a tailored dress that's not as fitting, not as tight.
Oh, you think she should wear something loose?
Not loose, but not almost like bodycon, no. And the problem is that when you have curves, and again, I have curves, so I have the same exact problem. But when you have curves, what's going to happen is when you get your size, the bottom half, if you're curvy at the bottom, is going to be extremely fitting because your size, they don't make clothes generally for curvy women.
But even if you
So-
got a tailored dress, and I'm speaking, you know, as like when you're a designer and say you make a clothes to fit specifically for that person, then you're gonna tailor it, and that means if their body is like this, then when you are draping or even when you make the design, the tacks are here. The tacks are here. It doesn't have to be stretchy. I can use polyester. I can use cotton, something that does not
But
stretch.
it doesn't have, you can make
But
it so
is.
it's not super tight though.
It doesn't have to be tight. It's gonna fit.
Well, yeah, I know.
And fit means if you're curvy, I'm gonna see those curves no
Well, yeah,
matter
That's
what.
what I'm saying. I don't see any
They're
way
gonna
that she
exist.
can hide her curves.
Yeah, you
Other than
can't
you wearing a
really
loose
hide
dress.
it. You can't hide it, but it doesn't have to be skin tight either. It doesn't have to
I
be.
guess we can agree to
as
disagree
form-fitting.
because it's no way you're going to tell me that because this girl has curves, she can't wear the same dress that probably one
Well,
of
she
the other
can wear it,
counterparts.
but maybe she should get a
Probably
little
one of the
bigger
other-
size, or
probably
maybe
one of the
she
other
should.
women right there on the show probably have on dresses like that.
It's true, but that's what happens when you're a curvy woman. That's just life. You have curves,
So you can't wear certain clothes.
You can, but I think you should, censor where you wear them. If she's going out for a drink or something like that, then fine. But if you're in a professional environment, then you should get a bigger size. That's all.
And so basically, like that's one of the things, one of the issues that you have in reference to being plus size and curvy, and then just your representation in the media. In the media, in movies, in
Right.
TV shows, in reality TV shows. You just have this thing where people are making you to look like that negative connotation that people don't want to be associated with. I was watching reality TV shows, right? And so there is one reality TV show that I watched that I actually like. It was called Curvy Girls.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Right?
I like that one too.
And it had a good balance of positivity and drama, And the only issue with that show was that it was on Nouveau TV.
Right.
I
Who's heard of that?
know.
Like,
I've definitely
Nobody
never heard
knows
of that.
about that
Who
station.
watches Nouveau TV?
Yeah.
Not me.
That
I don't.
sucks.
I don't even know what channel, how to
Right.
find it.
Right.
And it was just a thing. It was a hassle. I feel like it was a hassle, even with marketing. I'm not on the marketing team, I don't know. But
Right.
even with marketing, when I saw it and I wanted to watch it, it was like, where do I find this? How do I see it? Does anybody have Nouveau TV?
Right.
Is it going to come online?
Right.
Things of that nature. But then you have, who was another one? Oh, Big Woman, Big Love. And I guess
Oh, yeah.
the show concept about dating or whatever might have been okay, but in essence, you have to look at it and it's like they had no hair, no makeup. I wanted them, and I didn't know where. I'm looking at it like, where do they find these men? Like they were so corny. Like you're looking at it and you're like, okay, but you're not that hot anyway to be standing somebody up
Right.
or to be, looking at them a certain type of way.
Right.
And the difference that I see as opposed to reality TV shows, when you look at other reality TV shows, you could definitely tell they've been in hair and makeup.
Right.
Right.
They definitely have stylists or, clothes and stuff like that. The lighting, the set, everything is on point. Even though it's reality, you pretty much know
Right.
that it's
That
scripted in some way, form, or fashion, but it's definitely scripted as far as how they look. They usually don't show up to set looking.
I wonder why
Drag.
they didn't have a good budget. You think that was it, maybe?
We don't have a good budget either. I'm just saying.
I think in general, like they might not have had like great guys on there because a lot of men, have that whole like stigma as far as like, okay, well, we don't want to identify that we like plus size women type thing. So
That's true.
sometimes that could be why you're like, oh, this guy's corny. Like, where'd you get him from? Like,
Yeah.
because in real life, like that's not how it goes. So
Right.
maybe they just didn't want to identify with that on TV.
Right.
But then
That's
you have
crazy,
other
though.
men who are like, I love plus size women. That's all I really am going to date.
Right.
Or whatever. I like them to be more curvy. So.
Yeah. That's what trips me out because I hear a lot of women on Facebook that talk about that, like, all these guys are in my inbox, but yet, a lot of guys don't want to be public,
Right.
with them liking curvy women or plus size women. So it's like, stand in your truth.
Yeah, stand in your truth.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, just the negative connotation stopping you from living your best life.
Right.
You better get you some. What was it?
House of Curves. No, we're talking about that one.
Yeah, the problem with House of Curves, I think that was on BET, I think. The problem with House of Curves was just too drama. It was too
Yeah,
much
a lot of
negativity.
negativity.
You know, and I don't like to watch anything. Like, at least when you see a reality TV show, it's like, hey, my name is Susie. I have a cake business, you know, and I like scrapbooking with my girls, you know.
Right.
And at least you know the positive side of Susie, you know, and Susie can clap back too, but at least you know she got something going on because that's what they build off
Right,
of.
right.
And the goal is to go from there to, you know, other endeavors. I mean, look at
Right.
Cardi B, you know what I mean? Whatever it is, to build your brand and
Right.
to build your business. But it was just so, like, catty, so
Yeah.
much drama, so much fussing, so much
Yeah.
arguing.
That's my biggest issue with like reality
I
TV
was
in
like-
general. It's always like some big drama, some negativity, and it's just like you deal with enough negativity in everyday life. That's like, why would I want to watch you guys argue and fuss about something that one is like a lot of times it's real trivial matters, like, and then sometimes they get so out of control, you know, start like attacking people's children and all kinds of stuff, like attacking the way people look. So it's just like, at what point does it stop? Like, I don't want to watch your show and listen to that kind of negativity in my life. Like, I just don't need it.
Yeah, and see, the thing that I hate is that, you know, with me having a daughter, so many young girls, she doesn't watch reality shows,
Right.
but, you know, a lot of teenagers, a lot of young girls, young women, they're looking at these reality shows with all this drama, all this fighting, and they think that this is real, this is how
Right.
it should be. And so, you know,
And you
it's
can tell
sad.
that stuff is, a lot of that stuff is scripted. You
Yeah.
can tell.
Right.
Because,
Yeah.
like, it's like, you really arguing about that?
Right.
Like,
But grown people get engulfed in this. You know, they're like, I agree with Susie. Definitely. And then you're like, but I don't agree.
Team Susie.
Yeah, I don't agree. Like, no, but I agree. Like, but you don't know her, so we're not gonna argue. That's what we're not gonna do. So yeah, definitely. And I just feel like at this point, you know, there needs to be a show that shows us in our light,
Yeah,
just
right.
like they show regular size, smaller size women.
Okay.
You know, and what I mean by that is we look fabulous.
Right.
Show us looking fabulous.
Right, absolutely.
You know, we
Yes.
are entrepreneurs. We have businesses.
Right.
Show us doing that. We go on dates.
Yes.
Yes.
We get guys.
Yes.
You
And
know,
they're not corny.
We don't text back. So, you know, show that.
Right.
Show us in a regular light. Don't put so much focus on, you know, I'm heavy and I can't exercise
Yeah.
and nobody loves me and you know,
Yeah, that reminds me of like This Is Us.
Don't
like
give
the
me-
lady
Right.
on that show.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
I love
surgery.
her and I love her character, but it's really dominant on the fact of her like wanting to lose weight and trying to change herself
Yeah.
all the time. And that's such a strong basis of the show that sometimes, or at least her character on the show, that sometimes I'm like, oh, why? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But like, she's beautiful, and I like that they do show her kind of living her life, even though like some people are obese or whatever, and they're struggling with you know weight loss. They do want to lose weight for whatever reason, whether it's health related or just for themselves.
but
you
we've
know?
seen that for so long.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, give
Yeah.
us something else.
Right.
Like, give us a different side of the story. Everybody doesn't feel that way.
Right.
Right.
Everybody doesn't look like that. So, you know, even with plus size movies and plus size videos,
Yeah.
like, you know, all of that. Like, you know, Mystical had a video where the girls were running through the video eating chicken and all of
God.
that.
Yes.
Like,
Lord,
you know,
Harvey.
stuff like that. Like,
Yes.
I hate food references.
Yeah.
Like, every time you put me in a video or, you know, you make reference to me, it's about me eating.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and I hate when women do that to themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
You are more than that.
Right.
You are more than
Right.
a food reference. You don't have to do what people expect of you.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I definitely completely agree with that. Like, I just feel like everything is always some type of food reference. Like,
Right.
being curvy, being thick, whatever you want to call it, it does not have to be a food reference.
Right.
It does not have to involve you eating a lot of food or that kind of stuff. It doesn't mean you don't work out and that, like, you like to eat chicken and you got to eat biscuits all the time. I don't want to hear about that. Like, that's not an interest of mine. Like,
Yeah.
what about other, like, the personality? What about other things? Why does it
Right.
always have to be some type of food
Negative or
reference?
something,
And that,
yeah.
for me, is negative because like just because I'm gonna eat a regular meal doesn't mean that like doesn't mean that that's the reason why you know I can't that's all I like or that's all I'm interested in. You know what I mean? Like food. Like okay, well I'm gonna get a curvy woman because I'm gonna buy her some food. Or even in that video like you mentioned, he's talking about if you smile at her or you're nice to her like she's
She'll
gonna
pay
give you
your rent.
pay your rent.
Mhm.
Really?
Crazy.
Okay. Wait for it.
Right.
Wait for it.
Right.
Right.
But you won't hear a skinny girl being talked about like that.
Right.
No,
Exactly.
no, not at all. And the same thing with movies. Like, we don't always have to be the funny wingman.
Right.
You know, we don't always have to be that. I mean, there are a couple of actresses that do extremely well who the weight reference is never like the focus issue, like Queen Latifah. I really like Gabby Sidibe's role in Empire is not focused on her weight. She's
Right.
just an exec there doing her job.
I love that. I
you
love
know?
that.
And
she was in that. She was recently like in a sex scene. They were complaining about it,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. Like, why is she in a sex scene? Excuse me. Plus, women do have sex. What's
Right.
the big
Yeah,
deal?
exactly.
You don't want to see it on TV. Why?
Right.
Why? Is that because society tells you that it's not a beautiful thing to look at?
Right.
Because if it's not beautiful seeing them, it's not beautiful seeing anybody. So maybe they should decrease it in general.
right.
I agree.
So the goal is, I mean, I'm thinking the goal is, if we wanna move forward and help change the narrative, one of the important things about changing the narrative is to make sure our representation change.
Right.
Not just in clothing stores, but in the media.
Right.
But in movies,
Right.
in reality shows, in music videos, and all the things that is consistently shown to the public and to our children.
Right.
You
I
know,
agree with
that's
that.
important. I'll drink to that.
Yes.
Me too. Cheers, ladies.
Thank you for watching Curves Rock Happy Hour. Make sure you grab your cocktail as you're watching. Please share and join in on the discussion. Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.